There are moments in life when everything feels too heavy to carry. When the weight of disappointment, heartbreak, and failure presses down so hard that even breathing feels like a battle. When it feels like the world is moving forward, but you're stuck in the past. Life has a way of breaking people in ways they never imagined. The relationship that fell apart, that dream that seemed so close but slipped right through your fingers, the feeling that still lingers in your chest. Pain is universal, but in those moments, it doesn't feel that way. It feels personal. It feels lonely. It feels unfair. But pain is not where the story ends. It's where the next chapter begins. Life doesn't always make sense. It doesn't always reward effort with success, love with loyalty, or kindness with kindness. Sometimes it gives loss where there should have been gain, silence where there should have been answers, and pain where there should have been joy. And in those moments, the mind starts searching for meaning. Why is this happening? What did I do to deserve this? When will this feeling go away? But maybe the question isn't why is life so hard? Maybe the real question is, what am I going to do now? Because pain demands a response. It will either break you or build you. It will either create strength or fuel self-destruction. And the difference between the two is the choice you make. The pain may have not been a choice. The heartbreak, the loss, the rejection. Those moments come uninvited. But the response? That part is in your hands. There is a moment in every struggle when something shifts. It happens when a person gets tired of their own sadness, when they get sick of feeling like a victim, when they decide that no matter how much it hurts, they refuse to let the pain define them. That moment doesn't erase the past. It doesn't undo what's been lost, but it does something far more powerful. It sets a new course forward. Rock bottom is not the end. It's the foundation in which comebacks are built. The person who has lost everything has nothing left to fear. The person who has been hurt beyond words has nothing left to lose. This is where real strength is born, in your struggle. And pain is the sculptor. It carves people into who they were always meant to be. The broken become unbreakable, and the wounded become unstoppable. Pain by itself doesn't make people stronger. It's what they do with it that does. There are two types of pain, the kind that destroys and the kind that transforms. And the only difference between the two is your perspective. Some of the most inspiring people in history, those who changed the world, who defied the odds, who built legacies that still stand today, all had one thing in common. They suffered, but they used their pain. They didn't let it consume them. They didn't let it make them bitter. Instead, they let it fuel the fire they had burning inside them. The same pain that could have broken them became the foundation of their success. Pain is raw energy. It can either pull you down or push you forward. It all depends on where it's directed. No one heals overnight. No one wakes up one day suddenly free of their struggles. Healing is slow. Growth is painful. Change is uncomfortable. But every step, no matter how small, matters. Waking up and deciding to try again. Taking care of your body even when your mind feels exhausted. Learning something new even when motivation is gone. And letting go of the past little by little. These small choices add up over time. And one day, without even realizing it, the person who once felt like they were drowning will look back and see how far they've come. They will realize that the things they thought would break them actually built them. The best part about hitting rock bottom, there's only one direction left to go: up. The ones who have suffered the most have the greatest potential to rise the highest. Because pain gives perspective. Struggles build inner strength. And every battle leaves behind lessons that cannot be learned in comfort. This is why the strongest people often have the hardest past. They know what it's like to break, so they rebuild stronger. They know what it's like to suffer, so they push harder. And when they finally rise back up again, they are no longer the same. They return wiser and more powerful than before. They walk differently, think differently, and move differently because they know what it took to get here. They know that pain was never the enemy, it was the teacher. Life will hurt. That is unavoidable. But suffering is not the end of the story. Pain doesn't mean failure. Struggle does not mean weakness. Every setback, every heartbreak, every moment of doubt is simply a chapter. It's not the whole book. The difference between those who stay broken and those who rise is simple. The choice they make. Choose to keep going. Choose to rebuild, and choose to take the pain and turn it into something unstoppable. Because the ones that refuse to quit have the greatest potential to make the best comeback.